only, most of the listeners that I talk to out in the world, when I was at the old place, they streamed us online anyway. It only makes sense that we're going to be the forefront of the place that you get local news, information, and entertainment. And I couldn't be more excited about this. It is going to be an absolutely golden opportunity for the city of Lansing, for the mid-Michigan area, to finally get their issues out, not just to our community, but to the world as well. I plan on doing a lot of blogging along with that, so there'll be an online print component to my show as well. Jeff Van Camp, who is the good-looking young guy here, will be my producer and sidekick, so you'll hear him a lot when we get going on the air. So we're really looking forward to that. Monday morning we launch. My show starts at 9, of course. Walt leading me in before then with all of the news and information that you could possibly want, and he'll get you primed and ready to go in the 3 hours. And I'll hopefully have a discussion with you about what it all means to you and everyone else. Let's see. Okay, introduce myself, check. Talked about talklansing.net. Made Sarah Palin writing on hand joke. Okay, got that. I guess, Walt, I'll turn it back to you. Make sure you listen starting 6 in the morning on Monday morning, and we'll talk to you on the air.
If he's not careful, we'll replace him with Jay Leno, who's available just about any time. From 11 to 12, we're going to have a daily magazine, which is going to be a little bit different for Lansing Radio. Every day, a different subject, in-depth from a local perspective. On Monday will be Chris Holman's Business Beat, which he's been doing for years. Best business reporter in mid-Michigan, providing information on what's happening with local businesses. On Tuesday, Steve Purdy, where are you? Right over here. Steve Purdy's the car guy. He is a national auto writer based in Williamston, knows everything and anything about cars, and is going to have all sorts of segments. In fact, his first show is going to originate from Los Angeles.
Yes, Torrey Pines.
He's going to be at Torrey Pines, actually, for the debut of some new cars for Hyundai, correct?
The new Hyundai Sonata.
The new Hyundai Sonata. So it's not just going to be General Motors. We're going to talk about the car business. On Wednesday.
Well, first I'll be doing road test reports, or product reviews, and the first one will be the Cadillac CTS Sport Wagon.
Which means he gets to drive the Sport Wagon for a while, which he's looking forward to. On Wednesdays, we have a program called Lansing Next, and it is hosted by some of Lansing's future leaders, some of the people that were identified by the Chamber and LEAP as future leaders in mid-Michigan. The key host is Julie Lynn Gibbons from I3 Strategies, and they're going to talk about issues that are critical to the next generation of leaders in this town. On Thursday, a show I'm really excited about, it's going to be called Date Night. Robin Schwartz here, late of the Lansing State Journal. There's a lot of people who are late of the Lansing State Journal. She's going to be hosting, along with Mike Hughes will appear, also late of the Lansing State Journal. And they're going to be talking about food and television, and also Jim Fordyce will be talking about theater, along with Jeff with movies. Might even get Mike Scory to stop in and talk about the bars once in a while. But on Friday, Mike Scory has center stage, and it's going to be Mike Scory's Band-Aid. And Mike, where are you? Get forward here.
All right, okay.
No speeches. You can't speak. Just raise your hand. He didn't bring his piano this morning, but he's going to feature a local band every week, and it's not just going to be the bar bands and the rock and roll bands and all that. Some weeks it may be a string quartet from the Lansing Symphony. It may be a reggae artist who teaches at Michigan State University. Songwriters, you name it. He's going to feature the local music scene and really try to promote some of our local artists from week to week. Should be an awful lot of fun. I'm going to skip our noon. Actually, I'm not, because he's online right now. Let's go. We're going to go at noon. We're bringing somebody back to town who hasn't been here in a long time. Oh, we're going to turn the projector back on, okay? Thank you. See back? There he is. This gentleman is Tom Hartman. He started at WITL about 4 months after I left there, back in 1968. Tom, can you hear me?
Hey, good morning, Dave.
Good morning to you, and Mr. Hartman is going to be with us with his top-rated national talk show.
This is Walt, right?
Yeah, this would be Walt. Okay, I'm the guy who signed the contract, remember me? On the windometer this morning, Tom, it is about 27 degrees.
Haven't had my second cup of coffee.
He is on the West Coast now in Portland, but he brings a Lansing perspective to national and international issues, and let me turn it over to my friend Tom Hartman.
Oh, well, what are you turning over to, Walt?
Tell us a little bit about your program.
Oh, okay. We're doing a nationally syndicated program. It started out as a show, a weekend show in a little station in Vermont, and from there grew back about, well, it'll be 8 years ago in March, onto IE America Radio Network and Sirius Satellite Radio Network. And then when Al Franken left Air America, they brought me in to replace him, although I was already doing the show in that day part, so we kind of merged them. And then I left Air America about a year ago, you know, which turns out to have been a good thing in retrospect since they went bankrupt last week. And we kept all of our stations, so we now have more radio stations, more people listening to us on more radio stations than any other progressive show in the country, which is kind of cool. It's a little intimidating, frankly, but and it all started with, like you said, Lansing Radio, WITL.
You've got to pay your light bill there, Tom.
I got to pay my light bill?
Yeah, there we go. That's a whole lot better. You started WITL. You're a graduate of which high school?
Well, I'm not. I went to Everett High School, but didn't quite graduate.
No, somehow, some way, you've made it work. Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard, so it's okay.
Yeah. I dropped out of 1 high school and 2 colleges.
So it'll be the Tom Hartman Show from noon until 3 every day Eastern Time. Tom does his show live at that time. It's 9 o'clock in the morning in Portland, Oregon. And we're looking forward to show number 1 for the Lansing market. It's great to have you back in town.
Thank you, Walt. It's great to be back in town.
Tom Hartman. Say goodbye to him. Go do your show, Tom. Get the second cup of coffee.
You know, and greetings to my 3 brothers and all my nephews and nieces and relatives and old friends who live in Lansing. I get back real regularly, and I'm so pleased to be back on the air in Lansing. Thank you.
You are going to, of course, come and visit us and do the show from our place.
You betcha. You betcha. I'll be there in July. My brother's having an annual family get-together, and